I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign.
The Boy Who Left the Mirror Behind. July 2025. Soul sinks beneath a light that no longer feels warm. In a world built from cameras, contracts, and the echo of rehearsed cheers, there was a boy who decided to face himself, without mirrors, without filters. His name was Kim Taehyung. But tonight he was no longer a name. He became a question. They said he had to return. To the studio. To the schedule. To the storyline written for him since he was 20. But when the door opened for his final photo shoot, his seat was empty. And no one dared call it rebellion. They knew he was rewriting the definition of artist. Fame is a borrowed name, he wrote on a note left in the dressing room. But I want to earn mine. While HYBE prepared Plan B, Plan C, even Plan Z, Taehyung made no plans. He made sound on the keys of an old piano in a nameless studio. He sang what couldn't be sold. He wrote what couldn't be edited. Insiders say he's now recording an EP titled Sonata for No One. No producers. No release date. No promise that the world would hear it. And that's exactly why. The world started listening. He turned down a $9 million endorsement from a global brand. An executive said, because he said, brands can't understand my wounds. They tried to pull him back with nostalgia. BTS montages. Throwback Weverse posts. Engineered laughter. But ARMYs knew. That's not the Taehyung we know, a fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter. That's an archive, not a reality. Meanwhile, Taehyung was spotted again, this time in Jeju. Not in a studio, but on a beach. Reading poetry to the wind. Recording the waves. Embracing silence like an old friend. Then came the video. A 47-second clip. Black and white. Taehyung's voice asking, "If I belong to no one, may I finally belong to myself?" The internet broke. Not from scandal, but from truth. Unfiltered, untrained, unpolished. At HYBE headquarters, the lights stayed on 24/7. Not from dedication, but from panic. They weren't losing a star. They were losing control. Some directors called Taehyung unruly. Others whispered radiant. And quietly, 3 idols from other groups reportedly began refusing scripted interviews. Because Taehyung had opened a door where there used to be nothing but painted walls. Jungkook vanished from the radar for 3 days. When he returned, his eyes were swollen. He simply said, "Sometimes the ones who love us most are silent when we're hurting." The BTS practice room stood empty. Not because they disbanded, but because each step was now seeking its own direction. One former manager said, "Taehyung isn't rejecting BTS. He's expanding it." While the media tried to write a narrative of collapse, ARMYs chose a narrative of growth. They printed Taehyung's quotes on tote bags, murals, even wedding invitations. "Don't love me because I shine. Love me when I flicker and still choose to burn." HYBE declined interviews. But some of Taehyung's close friends quietly posted clips. 8mm camera footage of his hands drawing, soft laughter in the rain, and one image, a signature on the wall, "I forgive the mirror." This is not an end. Nor is it a beginning. It's a phase that never had a name. And the public began to embrace it. Because people don't need idols to be inspired. Sometimes it just takes one honest person to challenge an industry that forgot what that means. "I'm not rising," read the bio on an unverified new account. "I'm returning." They can erase his face from official platforms. But they cannot erase what he planted in the hearts of millions. So if you ask, is this the end of his career? No. It's the start of his life. July 2025. Seoul. The lights on the BTS floor still turn on at 6 a.m. Cameras still wait. Makeup chairs still spin. But one chair has been empty for 46 days. And Jungkook. He stopped asking when it would be filled again. They say when Taehyung left, he left quietly. But for Jungkook, the silence wasn't quiet at all. It rang through the dorm walls, through his chest, through every stage rehearsal where he turned left, and no one stood there. "He didn't abandon us," Jungkook whispered to a staff member. "He just chose himself for the first time in a long time." Jungkook has always been good at becoming what people need him to be. The golden magne. The bridge. The smile in the storm. But how do you smile when the person who taught you how has stopped smiling? He tried. He texted. He called. He waited. But there was no typing bubble. No reply. Just stories, cryptic and vanishing. Just whispers in the hallways. Taehyung's gone off-grid. He's not responding to management. He's rejecting brand deals, refusing PR coordination. He's becoming someone else. And that's when Jungkook stopped calling. Because sometimes love means not asking someone to come back. Sometimes love means guarding the door, but never locking it. He's not running from us, Jungkook said in a Weverse reply that was deleted minutes later. He's walking towards something we can't see yet. But that didn't make it hurt less. There was a night in early July. When Jungkook visited Taegu quietly, no staff, no schedule. He waited on a park bench, where Taehyung once filmed a childhood vlog. Same trees. Same stars. Different sky. They say Taehyung sat beside him. They didn't speak. Jungkook cried first. He didn't cry because he was angry. He cried because this was the Taehyung he always knew. Buried beneath years of choreography, variety shows, and polite scripts. Now that Taehyung was finally visible to the world, Jungkook realized. Maybe he never truly saw him before either. He's not a brand, Jungkook told a backup dancer during rehearsal. He's a him. He was always too sacred for slogans. Back at HYBE, things grew colder. Executives debated damage control. PR drafted cohesive messaging. They tried to recenter the group image. But nothing centered without Taehyung's asymmetry. Because BTS without Taehyung wasn't broken. It was just quiet. Too quiet for a group built on heartbeat. Meanwhile, Jungkook stopped posting. Not out of protest. Out of grief. He started spending late nights in the company of instruments, not influencers. He learned analog mixing. He began writing again. But not hits. Not singles. Letters. Songs never meant to be released. Just lines like, "You were the hurricane. And I was the boy chasing the wind." Jimin visited his studio once. Read the lyrics. Didn't speak. Just hugged him. Namjoon left a book on his desk. Letters to a young poet. Yoongi? He said nothing at all. He just showed up and sat beside him in silence. Because sometimes brothers don't need words. They just need to not be alone while breaking. Then came the moment Jungkook never expected. A package. No name. No address. Inside, a cassette tape. A black and white photo of the two of them at age 19. And a note in Taehyung's handwriting. "Don't wait for me to be who I was. I'm not walking back. But I'll always leave a light where you can find me." He played the tape. A piano. Faint rain. Then Taehyung's voice. "To the boy who never looked away when I cracked. Thank you for seeing me even when I didn't ask to be seen." Jungkook cried again. But this time the tears weren't goodbye. They were gratitude. For the chance to love someone. Not just as a member of a group. But as a person. Messy, changing, free. So no, this isn't a scandal. This isn't a breakup. This is evolution. And when fans ask, what happens to BTS now? Jungkook only smiles gently. Maybe we're not shrinking. Maybe we're expanding. And when asked about Taehyung's silence, he answers, "It's not silence. It's a symphony we haven't learned how to hear yet." In the end, Taehyung may never return to the mirror. But Jungkook? He's building a window beside it. So his brother can still see home. Without ever losing himself in the reflection.
Tell you what to do, man, they don't know